Hey, happy days. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about biting your tongue, the expression bite your tongue, only because it's something that I need to get better at. Don't we all need to improve in certain areas that we know we should improve in? One of mine is holding back everything that I think and feel. Now, I don't really share everything I think and feel. I share a lot, and there's sometimes I'm sure you're wishing, God, why does she even talk about that? I wish she'd just shut up. Because I think that myself sometimes and thinking, this is not germane to the conversation. Why am I talking about it? And sometimes we should bite our tongue. And thinking about the past, talking about our past. I think whenever we think we should talk about our past or think about our past, we should bite our tongue. We should just stop it. We should do whatever it takes to nip it in the bud and stop it so that we're not dwelling on things that we can't change, things that just don't matter anymore. You know, we've all said and done things in our past. I'd be pretty surprised if there's anybody listening to this that could honestly say, I've never said or done anything that I wished I hadn't said or that I regretted even a teeny tiny bit. Because we're human. That's how we learn. We learn by making mistakes and figuring things out. And sometimes that involves saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, not making the best choice. Of course, we thought it was the best choice at the time for us, and it usually is. We always do the best we can with what we've got in the given moment. We always make the best choices, and at least what our subconscious thinks is in our own best interest at the time that we do it. But sometimes, you know, hindsight being 20/20, we look back and we're like, man, that was just stupid. Have you ever asked anyone when their baby was due if they're not pregnant? Been there, done that. Mortifying, right? And you know, you can't take it back. Once it's out of your mouth, once you say it, once you ask a question or make a comment or judge or criticize, it's out there. You can't take it back. And I was just thinking as I was doing this today, and I didn't talk about it in my Supersize Your Business video, but I thought about it after. I'm like, the whole performance review as it's done in corporate America today's system is just so rotten and so wrong. It's all about judging people on what they don't do right and criticizing them for that and grading them. And some organizations, I changed the way I did them in my organization, and we did 360-degree feedback, and we got peer feedback, and we only focused on what people did really, really well. We didn't give them the whole, here's your 3 improvement areas, here's the 3 things you do well scenario. Because guess what? Some things are really hard for people to change. They're inherent in the nature of their personality, their being, all of the experiences they've had that culminate into the person that they are at the time that you're talking to them about their performance. And it's a universal law that you get what you pay attention to and you focus on. So if you're telling people once a year how crappy they are in these areas they need to improve in, what are they thinking about? They're thinking about how crappy they are in these areas they need to improve in. And the more they're thinking about it, the more they're actually exhibiting those behaviors. But if you focus on what people are awesome at and you build on their strengths, guess what you're going to get more of? I found that out in corporate America, in my departments and in my divisions, and I applied that in my own businesses, and it's incredible what happens to the culture in your organization when you treat people the way you would want to be treated, number one. And number two, when you build on people's strengths instead of building on their insecurities and on the things that you are judging based on your lens that are good or not, appropriate or not, bad or not. So I've kind of got off track, but sometimes I think that when we want to judge and criticize and give feedback, we should just bite our tongue and think about, am I providing this information because it makes me feel better or makes me feel important or increases my status because I'm judging someone else? Or am I saying it because I'm really wanting to help the other person? And if you're coming to a situation with the intent to help another person to be the best version of themselves, to grow and improve and to focus on their strengths and to create what they want in their life, I don't think you'll ever need to bite your tongue or be led astray. But if you come at things because you think you're better than other people, or you want to judge or criticize or think that you have a right to an opinion on anyone else's life, about anything in anyone else's life, guess what? You don't. You really don't. And that took me a long time to come to terms with, because especially when we're parents, we want things for our children so badly. And at some point, hopefully, not everybody realizes this, you realize that as much as we want things for them, as much as we pray for and hope for and send good vibrations and energy to. Ultimately, it is every human being on this planet's choice and decision and responsibility to create their own happiness, create their own life, create what it is that they want to have as experiences while they're here on the planet. Getting off track, I guess, a little bit, but it's a huge aha moment when you realize that you can't motivate anybody else. You can't push a rope uphill. You know what I mean? You can't, uncook a noodle. You can't unsay things that you've said. You can't change the past. Now, I'm a firm believer in there's no such thing as can't, but there are some things that just don't matter. The past, as much as we like to play it up and build it up in our brains and make it our excuse for not doing certain things or not believing in ourselves, the past is just the past. There's nothing any of us can do to change what's happened in the past. We can't change what we've said in the past. We can't change what we've done in the past. We can only change what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing right now. And that's what's going to create the future that we want. The what we do right now, the what we think right now, the what we feel right now, the how we behave, the what we say. And sometimes biting our tongue right now is the best thing that we could do. So, biting your tongue, something to think about today. And actually, should I say this or should I not? Is it for someone else's benefit, or is it just to make me feel puffed up and better? Because a lot of times our ego wants us to contribute and say things and talk about and do things that don't feel good to us inside, don't feel right in our gut, and not even in our mind sometimes. And so guess what? Those are the things we shouldn't do, we shouldn't say. We always have to be true to ourselves and authentic, but that doesn't mean being an a-hole, right? It doesn't mean hurting other people. It doesn't mean causing harm in any way, shape, or form on the planet. At least that's my definition of being a better person, being a good person. So what am I working on? 90-day challenge, day 55 today, 5-5. Talking about, again, still working on how to make an irresistible offer, the offer creation process. Part 3, actually, doing part 3. Making that a 5-part series because it's that important. It's that important that you understand that you can offer just products, you can offer just a service, but guess what? You're not going to get the awesome results that you want out of your business and life by doing that. But if you do the offer creation process, if you create offer packages around everything that you do, it blows the competition out of the water. It sets you apart by making it impossible for other people to compare what you offer to what other people offer and sell, because it's not apples to apples anymore. It's apples to oranges. And comparing apples to oranges, people have to put on a different evaluation process and say, oh my God, I'm getting this same product, but I'm also getting all these things that enhance this product and make the experience so much better for me. Hands down, no brainer. I'm going to go with this. Even if it's, significantly more expensive, the right people will choose you over everybody else that's offering even something similar or something competitive that gets a similar result, but you have all the bells and whistles and things that make it absolutely awesome for them. Talk about offer creation. Beautiful granddaughter's going to be here early today. Didn't end up having her all weekend, which was great because then I got to go to the cabin. However, I forgot my little lavalier mic up at the cabin because I cannot find it anywhere in my things. So it means I was in a hurry to pack things up and I forgot it. So I'm probably going to be kind of strange sounding for a few days before I can get another one, or until I get back up to the cabin and pick mine up. I'll decide. I'll have to listen to one of the videos and see how bad the sound is. Can't be any worse than the echo at the cabin, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Working on, as part of the 90-day challenge, my scary project for women with chronic pain or chronic illnesses. And I'm going through funnel scripts, the wizards for the One Funnel Away challenge. I just thought I'll start there and go through those. They are big. They take a long time. I did the Epiphany Bridge one yesterday, and I started on the Hook Story Offer one last night, and I got about, 4 sections into it. That thing is huge. That thing's got to take at least a couple of hours. It takes longer than it took me to do the One Funnel Away challenge every day. But that's okay because it's going to make an incredible product that I can use over and over and over again. And I want to get really good at some of those as I am having my own challenges with health and with vision. I need to find tools and strategies and things that I can use to make what I do simpler, quicker, faster, and easier. So one of those tools is funnel scripts and ClickFunnels. And I'm to the point now where I'm teaching other people how to do the things I need to have done for me versus me actually doing them all myself. Yay! It only took 515 days plus to come to that conclusion in the online world. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because in the offline world, I always had a ton of help, right? Although in the corporate world, I always had a ton of help. In my small business world, I didn't always have a ton of help. And I got into the bad habit of doing way too many things myself, working in my business instead of on my business, way more hours than I ever should have. And I think that I carried that bad habit, that bad process into the online world with me, which is crazy town thinking. Thinking that you can do everything yourself, or you have to, or you even should or want to do everything yourself. And I actually convinced myself that I wanted to learn how to do everything. I wanted to understand in depth how to do everything, even things that I don't love doing, I don't like doing. I love design things, but I don't like personally doing them. I love photography and pictures and things. I love to take pictures, but again, I have challenging vision. So my pictures, my daughter will tell me that most of them are not in focus because I just point my cell phone and click, right? And, you know, maybe 40% or 30% of my pictures aren't even in focus. And so she laughs at me because she is a photographer. But we need to bring people in that can help us do the things that we're not awesome at. And we need to focus on the things that we are a genius at, that just come naturally for us. So I'm working on getting better at that. Any help or advice you have, share in the comments below, because I definitely need to know. Go out and make it an absolutely fantastic day. And of course, you know, I will be here with you tomorrow and every day until I get the online success that I want, the online success that mirrors the success I had in the offline world. I got a long way to go, I admit it. But I'm on the journey every day, a little bit more, moving toward that goal. And I hope you come along with me. Catch you tomorrow.